Member at large, Kyle Forbes from Cottonwood Livestock, or west of Redcliffe. My neighbor, actually. So welcome, Kyle. And yeah, I think you're going to enjoy this. At times.
Don't look at me.
Okay. So welcome.
Thanks.
Agenda. Everybody looked over the agenda. Is any deletions or additions? Connie, you got nothing?
No, I'm good today. Thank you very much.
Okay. Need somebody to pass the agenda as presented. Keith? All in favor?
Yeah, push the button.
Then your red light will come on.
Okay.
Okay, the minutes from September 23rd. Any errors or deletions or additions or? Don't see any.
I'll move.
Connie moves as the minutes as presented. All in favor? Carried. Okay, number 4, reports. The agricultural fieldman report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, so the 2026 ASB meeting schedule is kind of set out for this year and going forward. It's kind of supposed to have been a thing and we just haven't really done that. So the plan is for to have meetings in February, March, June, September, October, November, and December in 2026. So our typical day is the 4th Tuesday of each month, and these meetings can be changed if we need to, but if we could stick to this for the most part, it could be the October one that I feel would be the most likely to change. In the past, we typically haven't had an October meeting because that's our South Region Conference month. So that's kind of laid out like that. We shoot for 6 meetings a year according to our ASB strategic business plan. So that's what we're kind of going with that. So they're going to be posted on I think they're already posted on the website actually too. So the 2026 Provincial ASB Conference is going to be scheduled for January 20th to the 22nd this year. It'll be in Edmonton at the Delta South again. That's where we were last year. The agenda package isn't available yet, so I have been considering booking rooms though in advance just to see if we can get something either in that or hotel or the one that we were in last year seemed to be okay too, right? It was just a 5-minute walk, but. The South Region Conference we hosted at Eagles Nest Ranch this year. We had a good attendance and good presentations and good comments on the facility and speakers and everything, so that was a good success for us. It'll be our turn again in about 17 years. In-service training, that's for the agricultural fieldmen and ag staff throughout the province. That'll be next week. We'll all be gone for that. And again, that's at the Delta South in Edmonton. We had a trade show booth at the Ag Connections Conference on November 13th this year again. There were several people who stopped by and inquired about programs and different things there too. And we had a draw. Did we ever draw for that? Yeah, okay. Environmental farm plans, so there's been 33 approved so far in 2025, so that's a huge uptake just since kind of Agri-Stability and Agri-Invest is now using that as an acceptable program for their application progress. So that's been very good. We had talked about a leafy spurge sheep trial at the last meeting, and we had been considering putting sheep down at Sandy Point for leafy spurge along the river there. And that kind of came about because there's a grazing association up there that uses them as well. they gave us a quote, and it was quite high. It was, I think, $11,000 or $12,000. And the board was interested in maybe $4,000 a year, but it just wasn't jiving because the fees to bring the sheep there and take them back was already more than $4,000. So we could potentially revisit this again, but for the time being, I think we're gonna pass on this because there is unfortunately a new invasive plant that's up there, and it's highly toxic to sheep. So I feel like we should just maybe not put sheep in there at this time. So that'll come up here a bit later on too. The 2026 Farm Family nominations are open now for Farm Family of the Year for BMO. And then, of course, the Cypress County will use the same family. So that's open, and then we'll hopefully go through those nominations at a December meeting. So speaking of December meeting, the regular date would be the 23rd, which is quite close to Christmas. So I'm just wondering, is this working for people, or should we maybe change it and have it the week prior? Okay, yeah. I think I have that the 16th, 18th, or 19th could possibly work. How does that look for you guys? 16th or 18th possibly?
16th would be better for me. The 19th is kind of the start of the Penn show.
Oh, right, okay,
It's that Friday, so.
yeah. 16th, that's kind of good for, okay. Connie, it's okay with you, or, okay. Okay, so we'll, yeah, make a motion afterwards? What? Oh. Okay. Okay, roadside spraying, about 800 kilometers of ditch was inspected and treated for field bindweed since June. And 1,350 kilometers of ditch was inspected and treated for Canada thistle this fall, and that was done in the Jenner area, Suffield, Box Springs, that kind of thing. So that was very good. So we do have a new prohibited noxious weed, unfortunately. We were made aware of this on the 14th of October, and it's salt lover is what it's called. So it's in Cypress County, and it's in special areas number 2, I guess, in the Sandy Point area. So we went to inspect on the 15th of October, and we found a large infestation. The provincial weed guy had been there a couple days prior, kind of thing, and had not found it, but was inspecting from a report that they had. So we met the field men from special areas number 3, and and we went and checked that out, and yes, it is definitely there. So it is a prohibited noxious weed under the Weed Control Act, and it's also on the Canadian Seeds Act. So we weren't sure how the CFIA would want to deal with this and stuff too. But it seems like they're not being overly aggressive or anything with it, so that's good. We're happy about that. I'm actually, well, we're gonna have a meeting just with the province and special areas and that on Thursday, just to kind of have an update and show pictures of the terrain and stuff and how much we've kind of found and go from there, I guess. So it is highly toxic to livestock, but specifically sheep. So, you know, it could be not so good if the BT's got sheep on their land and stuff again, but I mean, it's not really palatable. So because they're eating leafy spurge, they probably wouldn't ever eat this, but just in case, like it's an unnecessary risk to take to have sheep there, but. So anyway, so the fieldmen from Special Areas 3 had sent samples away to the Alberta Plant Health Lab in Edmonton and one to the CFIA in Ottawa, and they did confirm it as salt lever. Braden and Kennedy here have been hiking about 70 kilometers over 2 or 3 weeks kind of thing to get an idea of how widespread this is. And it goes from Sandy Point down to, well, several miles, but I don't know if we should name names here, but yeah, so there's quite a lot of it there. It's growing on cliffs and bare ground and you know, impossible terrain to spray with any of our equipment and things like that. So we're gonna, you know, meet with the province and others to maybe come up with a game plan and that sort of thing too, to see, so it is a prohibited noxious weed, meaning it must be destroyed is the criteria kind of for that. So we'll have to put in an effort of some sort.
So
Question before me.
is it been there for a while if it's that far? And this is something that's just been recognized by the province that is a problem, or?
I'm guessing it's been there for a while.
Thinking.
So this is the first known infestation in Canada. So kind of new territory for everybody involved. And I assume it's been there for quite some time. There was a report in 2023, I think it was. And for some reason, we thought it was just in the special areas side, and they went and checked and couldn't find it. But we were thinking it was along the river, and it's not. It's growing up on the cliffs and stuff. So it was missed then, and now it's quite, when we know what we're looking for and stuff, it's kind of easy to see, and it's quite red here. So from a distance, we can kind of see it, and they've been using binoculars and stuff, and it's unfortunately probably impossible to eradicate, but.
So is there a spray that would take care of it?
So there's two
Because you guys could
registered in
use
Canada.
drones, couldn't you?
Yeah, or
Get a
crop duster or something. I don't know how.
drones would probably be better.
Drones would be ideal probably, but nothing would be registered to use those. Like
There's no spray registered for it yet?
there's only one chemical in Canada or something that is allowed to be used by a drone, and it's for trees.
Yeah, I know, but don't tell them that what we're using and just
Well, I know.
spray it and get rid of the dang weed. So is it going both ways from Sandy Point or just one direction?
Basically Sandy Point south, going south. So,
East or west?
yeah, west.
West, back this way.
Yeah. Because we did check, they checked down by Cottonwood Livestock because it's easy. There's nice cliffs there on your road. Didn't find any there. Again, it was just quick, just to get an idea kind of if it's like very widespread, like throughout our whole county. And we checked one of the parks in the city and didn't really see anything there yet either. And again, maybe bad time of year, and like I said, it was quick. But we seem to have run out. I didn't get any miles. Do we have a picture do you have that? Yeah, if you can. Because I did map it, so it does kind of peter out up that way by the block kind of area, I guess. I have been in touch with somebody at the block as well to see if there's a chance of, you know, them inspecting or adding it to their list. Right, so Sandy Point is at the top there. Can you use your, yeah. And then there's a big infestation partway down, and then another one. And that's kind of the last area that we have found it, but we've run out of time. It's, you know, it's hard to see now, and it's frozen, and it's just not working anymore this year. So we will resume inspections. I don't know when, you know, in the spring or summer sometime when we know it's going to be a good time to be able to see it and stuff too, so. Did you have luck with that, really? A little bit? But potentially, like if we can see it with binoculars across the river and stuff, maybe. Like we're kind of hoping so, because it's going to save a lot of steps.
Keith?
Do they have any idea of how it spreads?
How,
Is it windborne seed, or is it something that attaches to an animal, or
both, everything on the river, yeah, in the water, I mean, yeah, all of it. So we've wondered if it would have potentially come from the UK or something like that when there's been equipment that comes.
where else in the world needs this stuff?
Or, yeah, or like the Western United States has got a lot of it. So it likely came in from cattle being transported back and forth, is what we're kind of going with at this point. But, I mean, we're never going to know that, so. Also, I mean, there's the pipeline bridge right there and stuff too, so it could have been equipment or.
I guess my question would be, you know, you talked about you can't use sheep, and you look at the placement of it and stuff, it's so high up on those cliffs and away from your, you know, where the leafy spurge would be and where you'd be using your sheep. So I wonder if you'd even have to worry about the sheep making it up into a lot of those areas. And then my second question would be you know, when you look at the trials in controlling leafy spurge, sheep isn't really a great option. Goats are probably your better option. So what's the toxicity like this to goats, right? And I think that's, if I was going to do a trial of using an animal to control leafy spurge along the river, you know, goats are they're the best option for that, right? The seeds come out inert, so I think that would be an option there, right? Is investigating that as to whether the toxicity is there for goats, not just for sheep.
Yeah. There is some down, like where the pipe bridge is over there. It's a pipeline that goes across the river. There is some on level ground there too and stuff, so it's kind of everywhere depending on if it's the soil that it likes. It doesn't compete really well, so it's often found with Russian thistle and those kinds of things. One control measure that I read about was seeding kochia. Like, well, we're probably not going to try that. So yeah, it's just kind of up in the air right now. Like we're gonna, you know, look into this over the winter, of course, to try and figure something out to at least try. But yeah,
I'd just be curious how it got there, right?
yeah,
I've never seen it anywhere along, like, we have a lot of those same cliff faces and stuff all the way along our place, and I've never seen it, so you'd think, you know, logically it would have come down the river at some point, so it's got to be somewhere else in the municipality, but.
yeah. And I mean, even Sandy Point, people camping there, and you know, there's people hiking in the hills because when when Don, the fieldman from Special Areas 3, had called their ratepayer on that side to go and inspect, like, they were irate, like, what are you doing on my land and stuff? And well, we're inspecting, we can be there, but how about the other people who actually reported it? Like, they had the app and reported it, you know, to EdMaps or however, whichever one they used. So people are trespassing all the time on the land, unfortunately, that's along the river, right? And especially at Sandy Point where there's a campground and stuff. So it could have come on, you know, cats or dogs or something, or boots
Anywhere.
or whatever. So, yeah, it's, I don't know.
I think they were probably flowers in somebody's camper from the UK, maybe. Like, what's that other weed that come over?
Baby's breath.
Was it baby's breath that we
Not all
talked
of
about?
them. I mean, they're all invasive.
I'm just
They're not native, right? I don't know which.
Some of those come over as ornamentals.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's just kind of, yeah, what that is. So it's quite a beautiful little thing, but you know, can be, like, it's way on top of the hills and stuff, like it.
It definitely looks like it doesn't like competition because it's kind of out there in the bare ground kind of thing, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's amazing how it could get established somewhere now.
And it likes saline soil or alkaline or like anything, it'll pretty much grow anywhere that's bare, right? So,
Sure. Did you happen to pull any out? Like, has it got a pretty long taproot on it?
lots of these are really young, that's why they're so small, but some of them are quite beefy. And like in some of the books that we read and stuff, it does have a 5-meter taproot, it says. So if it's left, then,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're pretty established then.
yeah. Okay, I think that was about it for that. Okay, any more questions? I guess that's the end of my report.
Okay, need somebody to move Lisa's report as presented. Keith? All in favor? Carried. Now we go to the junior. Assistant. Yeoman report. Short and sweet, is he?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. They're usually pretty short and sweet. Most of the stuff that I do, Lisa talks about in her report. So we started our fall rat inspections, and we are just, we'll wrap up this week. No signs of Norway rats have been found. And then there was a fall edition of the ASB newsletter that was put out in the Courier, which would have been published today. So I didn't have time to put the PDF version in this agenda, but you would have got it in the mail today. So. That's it. Any questions?
Don't see any?
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Oh, actually, I do have one.
Oh,
I do have one question. Just wondering if, was there any comments or anything that people maybe discussed with you guys at the booth at the Ag Conference?
Lots of the stuff that people talked to us about at the conference were actually rats. We had our little rat on rat stickers, and that was usually when people came by, they were interested in the rat sticker. So, you know, people asked questions about our rat control program and stuff. Whereas last year, we actually talked to a lot of people about weeds and weed control. This year, it was more pests. People were asking about strychnine and gophers and rats, so, but.
Just curious to know what kind of information or any kind of feedback that we're getting from the public to see if there's something, you know, if it was equipment or anything that they're talking about, so it doesn't sound that way, so that's good.
okay, somebody to move the assistant. Kyle? All in favor? Carried. Now we go to the next.
Mine is very, very short. So I got the rental equipment numbers for the year. The seed drills were used 35 times to seed almost 1,500 acres, and the land rollers were used 18 times to seed almost 1,200 acres. The land rollers were up quite a bit this year from last year. Seed drills were down in acres, but about the same amount of people. So
How many acres roughly? Just off the,
500.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a ballpark.
Yeah.
Probably due to being so dry in the spring and stuff.
Yeah, the spring was pretty slow. I shouldn't say slow, but it wasn't near as, my phone wasn't ringing as much as.
The May we had and it being so dry, a lot of people were hesitating to put
Yeah.
any seed in the ground.
Yeah, so,
Except I put a lot of weed seed down, I see.
any questions?
Connie?
So, just somebody commented that when they had the drill, the shovels, or the discs were uneven, so it's like one side was replaced, but the other side was more worn, or?
Yeah, the disc and the coulter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough thing, because are we gonna go ahead and replace everything every time there's a wonky disc? Because that's gonna put a lot of money into it, right? So, I don't know the best way to go about it, but I've just kind of been, if the bearings have gone, I've replaced that disc, right? So, yeah. Because if not, like, we're replacing 2 sets every time, and the one might still be okay, right? So, yeah.
Or were you using it over in the county of Newell?
I wasn't using it. A very good friend of mine was
In the county of Newell?
in the Cypress County. Yeah. Yeah, they just let me know, because I'm on the board,
That word?
on this board,
Board.
the Ag Service Board.
Okay. Any other questions? Don't see any. Somebody to move the technician report? Blaine, all in favor? Blaine did. Alberta Invasive Species Council Partnership.
Okay, so this is an annual sponsorship request from the Alberta Invasive Species Council. This would be for 2026. We've been partners with them for many years, and in return for that, we certainly utilize their biocontrol program. We're one of the biggest purchasers of biocontrol in the province, apparently. And they've got great online resources, and their fact sheets are fantastic too. We use those often when we're weed inspecting and that sort of thing for information for people. So they're asking for the $1,000 sponsorship again that we have done in the past. And there's a package there if you wanted to check out the other levels, but bronze is the minimum, and then there's 2 memberships included with that as well, and then generally we've purchased a 3rd one, so all 3 of us are members, and then we take in their annual conference, because they've got great credits there that we need to utilize for renewing our applicators' licenses, and they've also got a pre-conference workshop, which is specifically for credits. So, like, they're just a great organization now. They've got a really good executive director in there, and they've done so much. They've done the Rat on Rats campaign and other ones as well that, yeah. So if you're on board with that, again, there's $1,000 in the budget for that.
Connie?
Yes, it is a very good organization. It seems to be getting better. And I would move that we give them $1,000.
You move that the ASB move to donate $1,000 to the Alberta Invasive Species Council as per the ASB budget for the Bronze Level Partnership in 2026.
Exactly.
Read it.
Pretty wordy. Who did that? Thank you.
All in favor? Carried. All right.
Done here. Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have to do the year in review. Everybody could just read that, eh? The partnership package. You guys
Yeah.
read that in the year in review, so we'll go on to Heartland Training and Support Hub sponsorship.
Yeah, so this is an annual request as well. Excuse me. I'm trying to think of their former name.
Farm Safety,
Farm Safety Center, yeah. Thank you.
Alberta Farm Safety.
And we've supported this for many years as well. And they've got programs for schools and families and all kinds of things, health programs and things like that. Last year, the board was asking for kind of a summary of what they did for schools in our county, and that is included in here. Something else. So they did 11 Safety Smart presentations and reached 188 students over 3 schools. So they were short of money last year, so they had to put their programs on hold for a little bit and that too. So anyway, they have always used the number of students that they reached the previous year to gauge how much of a donation they're requesting for the next year. So for this coming up year, they would be asking for $846. And in our budget, we have $750 for them. That's just been going down a little bit kind of every year. Just with the board and stuff, you know, different priorities or whatever. So there would be room if you decided to do $846 though. So that's up for your consideration.
So we have room in the budget for the other
For, yeah,
$90,
an extra, yeah, $96 or whatever.
so we don't have to take it off of Braden's wages then.
Not this time.
Which one you moving there, Keith?
Move to, read the recommended one, so whatever the recommended one is.
That's $750, so either you gotta do the
Update, yeah, the number 2, yeah.
So the $846, you're, okay, thank you, Keith.
You won't break a spot.
No. And they've got a decent website. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Connie.
So I see they've got 7-person schools, Murray Lake Colony School, Elkwater Colony School. So if we were to bump that up to 1,000, would they be going to more schools?
It says that the municipalities who support them would get priority. Like they would book schools there first, so not necessarily, but maybe. That's a terrible answer.
Yeah, because, I mean,
You gotta watch what's in the budget there, ma'am.
yes, I know.
So
Okay,
we
that
could
was just my
consider
comment.
that, like for
Yeah.
next year, like if that's something you're interested in, I can adjust the budget for future years
Yeah.
type thing too.
I guess I would say the same thing as Connie, like, upping it to $1,000 and getting it in more of our schools, you know. There isn't a lot of this available outside of maybe Irvin for other schools in the municipality, so I wouldn't mind seeing us upping how much we give to them, but that would have to come at they're able to actually come and do these presentations at other schools throughout the municipality.
We'd like some type of guarantee if we upped it, that they would visit more schools. Or, I don't know if it's schools or student-wise, however they work it.
Or what it would take for them to come and do, like Schuler and some of those other schools, right? Like,
And they used to, like, go to more than just the 3, but then it was budget, you know, they were not getting as much budget. I mean, us for one, we cut, right? It used to be $1,250 in our budget, I think, for them. And, you know, it just has gone down every year a bit, it seems, so.
could we approach them with a number of schools and say we would like to, you know, you're already visiting these 3 schools, but we'd like you to go to these other schools within our municipality what would that take? And then we can have that for next year and say, you know, we can do our 850 for this year, and then next year we can up that based on the guarantee that they are gonna visit more of our schools.
Yeah, yeah, I can certainly reach out and ask for that and see what they come back with. We can,
Mr. Blaine?
Well, I'd agree with that too. Like, I think we should just stay with the 846 for right now, because that's still $100 more than the budget. And then that way, if we can get that information, we can build in maybe an extra 200, because that would be $250 over what we did last year. So then, if we get the information, we can build that into the budget going forward then.
I guess it would depend what kind of people they have in place too, if somebody would go out as far as Schuler and all those schools.
yeah, it says they've got like educators or
Yep.
however they call them, you know, for the regions, so there should be somebody fairly local, and if that's their job, right, then, but I can get all that information.
Yep.
Okay, so the motion on the table is that the ASB move to donate $846 to the Heartland Training and Sport Hub for the delivery of their ag programs in the 25-26 school year, as per their request.
Yes.
All in favor? Carried.
So do we need a motion or anything to get more information from, or can you guys just ask that if they go to more schools, we could potentially give them more money? How does that?
I don't think you need a motion.
I'll just, yeah,
That's just something you guys can just go ahead and
sure, yeah,
pursue?
yeah. I'm just making a note of it here.
All right. The draft ASB master rate plan.
Okay. Okay, so there wasn't a whole bunch of changes for this. There is a chart there too for you. It's easier to probably look at. So we changed hand picking weeds. Used to be $70 an hour for a crew, so that was going to be 2 people and equipment, a truck, I guess, for that. And same kind of with the spraying. It was 2 people, a truck, and a Kubota for the $100 an hour. But this year, we seem to do a lot of just one person going, so it didn't seem right to be charging for a crew when it was only one person. So we just changed that a bit, we modified that, and are suggesting $50 an hour for one person and one truck to pick weeds, and it would be $70 per hour for a person and a vehicle, or, well, 2, because it would likely be a Kubota with a truck to pull it, of course, and trailer, so that, and then, of course, the minimum fees would be the same. And then the transportation fee would go up from $3.75 to $4 a kilometer, and that is from a resolution that council passed. I think I have that here somewhere, in 2023. Oh, it's not in here. And it was, oh yeah, it was to increase the transportation fee by 25 cents for 2023, 24, 25, and 26. So that's where that number comes from. And then we're kind of planning on reevaluating and, you know, doing a cost analysis this year to, you know, for the seed drills and everything for master rates for next 2027. But, so just kind of those 3 changes for this coming year, if that's.
Well, just like, thank you for clarifying that price change there. I was kind of, when I looked at the agenda, I was like, how come we're going down? Normally we go up on everything.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what that was about, so thank you for that.
So just a question on equipment cleaning, Braden, have you ever charged anybody for not cleaning them drills properly, or
I have not, no,
what?
I have not.
Haven't? Everybody's been pretty good
Yeah, for the most part.
from, okay. Any questions, concerns, opinions? Connie, I see you got your mic still on.
Has anybody used a foam applicator for the ground squirrel?
Not for a while. We used it this spring to do some gopher control out at Desert Bloom at the water plant there, but nobody has rented it for a while. Community associations have in the past, but not recently.
They used it in Dunmore here at the Ball Diamonds.
Yeah.
In around where there's people where you can't.
So so it's just sprays foam down?
Yeah, it's a mustard foam, so it's just a concentrate. It gets mixed in a tank with water, and there's a certain nozzle on the hose, and it goes in, and it makes a foam, and then there's a bunch of little cones that you have to plug the other holes, so when they try to escape, they can't. And then they just asphyxiate, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Does it work on badgers?
Need some
A lot of
maybe,
foam.
but they'd be a little more aggressive at getting out, so. But yeah, and often, like, when we've done this, we've done it in the ditch out here and at Cavan Lake and things over the years, and, you know, you gotta have somebody close by with a shovel or something too, just in case.
So with this draft master plan, you'll be bringing it then to council.
It does go to council. The Ag Service Board is recommending this, and then council obviously
So
can.
then we should pass it as presented, so it can go to council then.
Yes,
Okay,
unless you
Laner.
want changes.
Lane moves that we, hang on, what is the right wording there? Gotta get back. Sure.
That the ASB move to accept the 2026 draft ASB master rates as presented and send the recommendation to council when the master rates bylaw is being reviewed.
All in favor? Carried. We have no closed session. Right?
Yes, closed session for the ag bursaries,
Oh, yes.
please. We needed.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that headline. Kyle will make that motion to give $1,000 to all three applicants.
Perfect, thank you.
All in favor? That one is carried. Okay, now we got a bunch of letters and stuff for information, including our wild boar update.
Yeah, that's always fun to read. Oh, what's that supposed to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I looked at that.
Sorry.
Go ahead, there.
So I see in the Farm Family Awards application needs to be in by December 12th. Did it happen to go in that Cypress County thing,
In the newsletter?
newsletter?
We didn't get it in there. It's on the website and social media.
I was gonna say, if not, okay, yeah, because if nothing else, we should get it on Facebook or whatever,
Yeah.
and social
Yeah,
media.
it was out last week. Yeah, and a couple more times between now and then, so. Not yet. So we do have, I think, 3 carried over from last year. Like, I keep just bringing them forward because sometimes we don't get any applications. So we've just been carrying them forward now just so we have somebody. So there are a couple to consider, yeah. And I'm trying to go through this thing here. Other than that, yeah, I think it was just the letters from a few municipalities there on random things, the ostrich farm, and this didn't print very good. And different things, another egg declaration, disaster, I mean. Yeah, just kind of for your information. Stop dead, that's always kind of interesting too. There's been Dutch elm disease found in Edmonton last year and this year. So it's kind of just good to know about and, you know, things to watch for in urban centers and some of the villages and stuff too. And we've got traps up, you know, for Stop Dead, for that organization, to monitor for the beetles that would carry the disease. So they're both on the Egg Pest Act, so.
Since we couldn't update our wild boar, you know, remember this, you haven't heard any more about the one that was supposed to have been down here?
Not a word,
Not a word.
no.
Because I've been looking out for it, but I've
Yeah.
never seen it down there.
Yeah, no, just that one call.
Found a lot of elk, but not that.
Yeah,
You gotta go out at night.
Well,
Yeah.
or might show up at the dump.
Yeah, but this one was spotted way
it was,
down by the 501, way down south.
yeah, but, I mean, it could be anywhere, but, yeah, I mean, it's hard
Went to
to,
Saskatchewan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or, yeah,
I don't think there was one, but
no, I kind of doubt it too, but we tried to locate the little fella, gal. Yeah, okay, any other questions then, or anything?
letters or anything? Oh. Okay, Connie first. She's waving higher than you, Kyle, sorry.
Okay, well,
So this letter from Brazeau County,
it's the same one that I was gonna add.
from my good friend Anthony Heinrich. So have we heard anything from other people with issues with reclamation? Okay,
So the well site reclamation thing is a huge issue with a lot of these companies, the way they leave a lot of these sites. Like, a lot of them are being overturned. Like, there's falsifications in some of their reporting and stuff. Now they're pushing a lot of this self-reporting. So I've run into it heavily in our area, particularly with CNRL, when it comes to their reclamation certificates. I've had a few that are questionable and that should be overturned, and there's many others in our area. Also, on top of that, there's also the, the mature asset strategy that the province has come out with, which is very similar to, it's basically the province is going to allow these companies to write off a lot of their mature assets and write them down and then pretty well take them off their books. So in a lot of cases, the reclamation standards that we're supposed to have now won't exist. There's a huge pushback from some of the other first surface rights groups. Have you guys had any of that? at
No, we've been
Canada?
dealing lots with that with the RMA, and that has been brought forward big time already on.
So as long as you guys are, that would be the only thing that it kind of tweaked that for me, that as long as we're kind of on that same page with that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
no, we've been dealing it with staff and meet with meetings with the RMA and that, but
But something I think as a municipality, like we should keep an eye on, because we are in that, all of our shallow gas around here is that mature asset, right? And it's all at that stage of abandonment, so you're starting to see the issues that are cropping up now that from a lot of those legacy assets and stuff, so,
oh, there's big time going on down south.
yeah, for you guys down at Many Berries and stuff?
Oh, huge. But they're leaving behind a nice job right now. They got it all fenced and,
And that's the trouble, is like when I deal with some of those companies, like they'll say CNRL's awful, but you have to think the little companies will do a great job, because if they screw up one and they get something pulled, you know, it's a bigger issue for them, where CNRL, if they cut the corners and they get caught on one, well, they just cut the corner on 500 others. So to them, that's a huge chunk of change that they can make up. So just something that our ratepayers should be aware of.
they've been doing over 100 and some down there.
I would like to see us write a letter in support of this as well, and just start a storm of these letters.
We've already have through council and that, and Steve Tays has been on the board. They've been working with it, with the RMA. We've been full tilt on this. We've been dealing with it.
Oh, so not,
Nothing
pressure
new.
from the Ag Service Boards isn't gonna,
No, because I mean,
because
from
it's
the Ag Service
farmland.
Board, we'd have to get council to write the letter because it has to go through council, and it already has.
Oh, okay.
We've been dealing with this. It's nothing new.
It's already been done.
Okay.
Every RMA conference, it gets brought up again.
Has that group come and done any presentations for you guys, like on, because Bill Heidecker, he used to be on another board that I deal with, and he's the president of that association. He's been asking me if there's any councils or groups that would like him to come down and do a presentation on it. So if council or something would be interested in that, I could reach out to him too if you guys wanted more of that, but
Well-
that's outside of this.
Yeah, it's outside of this deal, but like I'm getting at, we've been dealing with it. You know, it's all for a couple of years, more than a couple of years already.
4 years.
Yeah, you know, so,
But this mature asset strategy, that's new outside of the
No,
the
we've been-
reclamation part of it, though.
no,
That's
this
just
mature asset study deal has been going on for, Kyle, for years already with us.
Is it?
Yes, we've been dealing with it for a long time since they threatened to take away a lot of that. No, we've been dealing with that big time, and it's no use bringing it up because it already has been.
Yeah, well, that's my question, as long as.
Yeah, no, it has been. Big time.
I was just gonna comment, because at the RMA, they finally said that they're actually going to try to, how am I gonna word this? Try to control the bad actors from creating a new company, and you know what I mean? Like, that's what's been going on. So one company will come defunct, and they just make another company to kind of hide it, but they're going after them for that. So whether that, you know, happens or not.
With this mature asset, we had a one-on-one meeting just at the RMA conference about it, and then it here last week.
Yeah.
So, no, we've been dealing with it. And that unpaid taxes is a big thing, too. But that's outside the Ag Service Board, that has nothing to do with Ag Service. Any other? Anything from you? Keith? Connie, since you got your mic still on?
No more questions? There was another letter from President.
Brazos County, yeah, Anthony, there's 3. Anthony's really doing his job there. So, yeah.
You gotta step up to the plate.
What's that?
You gotta step up to the plate.
We gotta start writing letters.
No, we don't. Connie will go rogue at us at the conference.
No, I'm good with everything else.
Okay,
You have to have trees to worry about their other letter.
oh, and to step in about the ostrich farm, that's dealing with CFIA, and that's a whole different thing altogether.
Somebody just announced, was it Tabor? Somewhere else just had an avian flu outbreak. Was it Tabor I saw today?
I've never seen
Somewhere
it.
announced it just today, that somewhere right around us now has it, so.
Moral of the story, don't buy a veggie.
Better eat all your chickens now.
Okay, that was all for information, so we don't need no motion there, and the next meeting is, we said the 16th.
What's going on? 16th, December 16th at 10:30. Is that good for everybody? Next meeting? Okay. 10:30. Sorry. Yeah. You like this? Yeah, well, you rushed late to get here at 10:30. Okay. 2:06, perfect, thank you.